Very good noon to all of you. How are you all? All right, so I welcome you to this session 500 must know vocabulary words. This is the part 8 of this series. In case you haven't seen the first 7 parts, you should go and watch them. You will learn about 50 new words from each session, right? So today is the part 8, and today again I have brought to you some analogy questions, synonym questions, fill in the blank questions, word meaning, match the following. So my effort is to make you practice varied question types, right? Hello Ishank, hi Pratyusha, good afternoon Sonali, hello Ajit, good afternoon Arshita. How are you guys doing? How is the prep going? Yes, tell me all about it. So you know that our effort is to improve our vocabulary of high frequency words, because these are the words that are asked in OMETs. These are the words that appear in your RC passages in CAT, right? So your comprehension, your understanding, your speed in reading an RC passage becomes much better when you know these high frequency words, right? Good afternoon, Vaishnav. Hello, Saket. Sorry. Okay. So let's look at an analogy question today. The words are very simple. Sleek is to glossy. So tell me, which of the following shares a similar relationship with this one? Yes, tell me. So Vaishnav, when was your birthday? All right. Sleek is to glossy. Give me a similar relationship. Siddharth says A. Ishank C. Others, Saket A. Pratyusha D. No, Vaishnav, I didn't miss you. Probably you went away from the screen, I think. Good afternoon. Good afternoon again. D is final. Okay. C. All right. So, very diverse responses I'm getting for this question. First things first, what is the relationship between sleek and glossy? That should be our starting point, right? And I think both the words are quite easy, aren't they? So, sleek hair, you must have heard this word in this context. So, this is how I remember it. If someone has sleek hair, they're very shiny hair, right? So, sleek is to glossy, it has a synonymous relationship. Now, let's have a look at the other words here. Rapid is to vapid is something that can be eliminated. Vapid means dull, boring. So let's say I say the concert got a vapid response in India. The music concert got a vapid response. It got a dull response in India. Okay, so dull, lukewarm. It got a lukewarm response is something that I can say. So not synonymous. Then this is polished is to paint. Okay. Are they synonyms? Polished is to paint. Tell me. They are not synonyms as such, right? So, polished, if something is polished, we are talking about an adjective here. Moreover, for somebody who's very refined in their manners, we use the word polished, right? So, polished can mean, in a metaphorical sense, refined also in their manners. So, polished is to paint, again, not synonymous. Credible is to believable. So, when somebody is a credible person, what kind of a person are they? Can you trust them? Can you not trust them? When you get a piece of information that you call credible, then is it something that you can believe or you cannot believe? Credible means something that is believable. The word means able to be believed. The able here is able. Cred means faith, to believe, right? So credible means something that you can believe. Okay. And that is why this is our answer and not D, Delhi. Make sense? Okay. See, humiliated is to elated. They are not synonyms at all. When you humiliate someone, you insult them, right? Elated, on the other hand, means very happy. If let's say the team was elated on winning the match, that means they were euphoric, they were very happy, right? So, not at all synonyms. So I think B and C were easy to eliminate. Between A and D, you had to see which one is a closer word, right? So polished can refer to other things also, but credible means believable, something that you can trust, right? So a very important phrase that I see here, incredible. What does incredible mean? Something you cannot believe. Yes, incredible India is something that I see written here. So, do I mean to say that you can't trust India? That's why I'm calling it incredible. So, incredible is not the exact opposite of credible, okay? It does not mean something that you can't trust. In fact, it's a positive word. When we call something incredible, we mean that it is so good that we can't believe our luck. We can't believe ourselves actually. That's incredible. So, when I call India incredible, I don't mean that you can't trust anybody in India, okay? I simply mean to say that it is so beautiful, it is so extraordinary that you will not be able to believe your eyes. That's the idea, right? Unbelievably uh, extraordinary. Okay? All right. So it's a positive word, not a negative word. Magnificent. Yes, correct, correct. So A is our answer here. Any queries? Please ask. Okay. Now, let's look at this word fortuitously and tell me what should come here. What should be the meaning of this word? Atulya Bharat. Absolutely. Correct, Ritik. Let's see what you say for this. I think we have discussed fortunate versus fortuitous in a question earlier, if I'm not wrong. A, all right, is what you say. So, absolutely correct. All of you say A, and A is the answer. So, fortuitous simply means happening by chance. Okay, happening by chance. Fortunate is also something that's happening by chance, but it is related to good luck. Right, it's a positive word. Fortuitous originally was a neutral word, but these days we use it as a synonym of fortunate also. However, it simply means something happening by chance. It could be good also, could be bad also. Right. So A is our answer here. Not surprisingly, definitely not intentionally and funnily. Right. So I think A and B were the ones that you had to choose between. C and D were easily eliminable. Okay. All right. So Jatin has an interesting word here, woke fishing. Anybody who's heard this? Woke fishing? It is not a widely used word till now, right? It's a new lingo, you could say this, right? A word that is woke, that is in fashion. So somebody who's woke holds uh, progressive political opinions. That person is actually called woke. Somebody who's aware about his or her surroundings. Woke fishing actually means that, let's say you have a senior whom in office whom you want to impress. Now, this senior holds rightist opinions, whereas you, in reality, hold centrist or leftist opinions. But in order to impress that senior, you would pretend that, okay, I also have rightist opinions. Right? Now, what do I mean by leftist, centrist, rightist? Left, center, right. I want you to also, in case you don't know these terms, although if you've been reading the newspapers, you would know these terms. But in case you don't, please find out about this. It has a very interesting history and meaning, of course. So, uh, rightist, these people believe in hierarchy, order, right? Um, they are more conservative, right? Leftist, on the other hand, these people believe in equality, labor rights, right? They don't believe in hierarchies, right? So these are leftist people. So while rightists believe in more control, in more government, leftists would believe in less control and government, right? Centrists lie somewhere in between. They believe in a balance between the two forces. Okay. All right. Yes, absolutely correct, Sri. So BJP would come somewhere here. Then CPI Marxist would come somewhere here. And you are right. Congress actually, the party that was Congress and now the coalition that was UPA, they claim to be center to the left. Center to the left. That's what they call themselves. Okay. So they are somewhere here, center to the left. Okay. All right. Now let's come to another analogy question. Purloin is to steal, then adumbrate is to what? That's the question. So tell me. It has a very interesting etymology, adumbrate. We'll discuss it. Confused, okay. A or C, B, all right. So two of these words, purloin and adumbrate, they could be relatively tricky for you. The ones in the options are very simple words, right? We don't even need to worry about them. So the key here is understanding what does purloin mean, right? And absolutely, again, the key to understand what does adumbrate mean, right? That will, like, I think, give us the answer here. So why you may not have heard purloin is it's a relatively formal word. Okay. If you read P.G. Wodehouse, okay, I think I read this word first in P.G. Wodehouse's novels. P.G. Wodehouse writes these comedy novels, and they're very funny, right? And there, of course, you find relatively more formal English because they were written earlier, and it's also humorous English. So you'll find a lot of humorous words here. So purloin is not just formal; it is also slightly humorous. Okay, so purloin means to steal. Once I realize that, I'm looking for synonyms. Tell me what the answer should be. No, Bhavuk, these questions don't come in CAT. Okay, CAT does not ask you direct vocabulary. Adumbrate means to outline. Okay, so our answer is C here. Now, why have you, some of you not heard adumbrate? Can you think of any reason? This is also a slightly formal word. Okay, a slightly formal word. You may have heard words such as foreshadow, overshadow. These are synonyms of adumbrate. Okay, even outline is a synonym, of course, that is why it is the answer. So, outline is the answer here. Now, let me give you a key to remember this word, adumbrate. It has this word umbra in it. What is umbra? You remember reading the lunar cycle in school. So it has so the moon has various stages and its shadow is called by various names, umbra, penumbra, right? So umbra is the uh, basically it's a part of the shadow. You could actually remember it as shadow. Technical में हमें इतना जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. It's basically the inner region that is slightly darker of a shadow. That is called umbra, right? So umbra means shade or shadow. That is why the word umbrella also has it because it provides us shade. Okay, the word umbrage also has it. What does umbrage mean? Good, shadow. Okay, yes, tree. So hopefully this one will be a success. Yes, umbrage. Umbrage का meaning बताओ मुझे. When we take umbrage over something, we take offense. When we give umbrage, we give offense. Okay, so it's an interesting word. When you take umbrage, you take offense. You get offended. When you give umbrage, you offend someone else. Right? So, how is this word related to shadow? You must have heard this slang phrase, throw shade on someone. He just threw a shade on my whole day. So, he basically cast a dark shadow on my whole day. Sorry. So when you give umbrage, you cast a shadow on someone's day, right? You make them offended and you spoil their day in a way. That's how it is related to shade or shadow. So umbra, penumbra, umbrella, umbrage, adumbrate, all of these have the root umbra, which is shadow, right? A sense of offense. Correct, correct. Now, getting offended. Yes, yes, yes. Correct, Siddharth. All right. So this is another analogy question. So analogy questions sometimes can be relatively tricky, especially in IIFT. Okay. That's why I am doing tricky analogy questions also with you. Now, come to a synonym question, an easy synonym question. Let's see. Sorry. Shri has already answered. Others? Okay. Jatin says A. Others? So I've got very varied responses. Two A's, two B's, one C. What else? Doughty. So there are certain words that you need to know the meanings of. Otherwise, you may think of them as some, let's say, so for instance, students associate this word with a dough. Okay, that's why they think that, okay, probably it's uncooked, probably it's obese. Not at all. It's neither obese nor uncooked. It is valiant, right? So there are certain such words, that we associate with certain meanings, but they don't actually have those meanings. For example, limpid. A lot of students associate this with limp. Okay. But limpid means something that's very clear, that's lucid. So We need to therefore know the meanings of certain words, okay, to get them correct. And the key is read more and more. You will come across such high frequency words. Another is, of course, that you can go for vocabulary lists. Okay. Even on byju's.com, you will find, so there is a list of 300 plus vocabulary words that is there on byju's.com, right? You don't need to go to any other source as such. Okay. Now, look at this, fill in the blank, and tell me what the answer should be here. Yes, doughty means fearless. Valiant means intrepid. So one word doesn't just have one synonym, no, Ishang? Valiant means intrepid. You are right. But that does not mean that it can't mean doughty. Okay, intrepid means brave also. Intrepid means fearless also. So one word can have many, many synonyms. Okay, that's the beauty of language. Yes, Bhavuk. So tell me what is the correct word here. C, B, all right. That's it. Why so few responses? So there's a tough competition in the chat box between C and B, but some of you also say D. Now, there are all these words share this prefix cum, right? Com and con also, they mean together, with, at the same time, right? She has no dash about what she has done. What is comport? Yes. Port means to carry. Com means together. Does it mean to carry together? Yes. So I wish that language were so simple and so scientific that if you knew the meanings of the roots and the prefixes, you would get the exact meaning of a word. But that's not how it is, right? So comport is actually a verb. It means how you carry yourself, the way you behave, the way you conduct yourself, the way you carry yourself. That is comport. Okay. So she has no comport does not make sense here at all. Complicity, yes, when you are complicit with someone in a crime, when you're an accomplice, tell me. Yes. So when you're complicit with someone in a crime, you are actually involved with them. You're involved together in that crime. You are an accomplice. Right? So complicity, the act of being involved in something with another person. And is it used in a positive sense or a negative sense? Complicit. Yes. Positive, negative. The examples that I just gave you were negative, right? So it is used for illegal activities. It is used for immoral activities. So involvement in illegal, immoral activities. That is complicity. So what do you say? Can I say she has no complicity about what she has done? She has no involvement in an illegal activity about what she has done? No. Okay. Discomfort. When you discomfort someone, or when someone feels discomforted because of you, what happens? Is this person comfortable? You know, this is actually associated with comfortable. So when you discomfort someone, you make the other person feel very uneasy, very embarrassed, very uncomfortable. So again, this is a verb. So complicity was a noun. comport verb, discomfort verb. She has no discomfort. No. Make someone embarrassed, make someone um, feel uneasy, feel uncomfortable. The answer therefore is D, Delhi. So let me see how many D's I got. Uh, yes, I did get some D's towards the end. Saket, Harshita, Siddharth. Correct. Your answer is correct. Okay. So D. Compunction. Hmm. Sorry to apologize. What is happening? Mm, sorry, the answer is C, A. Okay. All right. So compunction. Punctus is the root here. What does punctus mean? This root? Any idea? Let me explain. Okay. I'll just delete everything so that I have more space. Compunction comes from this root punctus. Now, punctus means point. So, compunctus, you know, when you are filled with regret, when you're filled with remorse about something, it's like 1,000 needles are piercing your body because of that guilt, because of that regret. That's the origin. That's the sense from where this word comes, right? So, com means together, punctus means point. So it's like 1,000 needles together are piercing you. That's how regretful you are. That's how remorseful you are. So she has no remorse. She has no compunction about what she has done. That is the sentence here. Okay. Some other words from the root punctus: punctual, punctuation, punctilious. Okay. These are some other words from the same root. Somebody who's punctual is always on point, is always on time. Punctuation, the points that you put in a sentence, in a particular group of words. Punctuation. Punctilious, this person always keeps pinpointing minor errors, minor flaws. So a very meticulous person, and is very quick at finding even minor points, minor errors. That is punctilious. Okay. So our answer therefore is D, Delhi here. Compunction comes from the root punctus. These are some other words from the root punctus. Okay. And yes, so when Bhavuk said my answer was correct, that was fine. It was correct. Okay, that's a correct sentence to make because he had given the answer relatively earlier, right? So, so my answer was correct is a correct sentence. Even if he had said my answer is correct, that would also be correct. So it depends on your intention. Whether you are treating something that you did 5 minutes ago as belonging to the past, or you are thinking of it as the present time only. So how are you treating it is what decides which tense you use, right? So that's why language is not as watertight as, let's say, your natural sciences. Okay, a lot depends on your intention, right? Okay, now let's go to the next one. Synonym. Redoubtable. Give me a synonym. Redoubtable. So is this person that you doubt? Is this such a person? A is what you say, okay. Others, what do you say? Need to know. C, all right. Also, a lot of A's here. Okay, B also. So, how did you realize that A is the meaning? Tell me. You are correct. A is the synonym, formidable. So, somebody who is redoubtable. Again, see why I chose this word? For the same reason that I chose doughty. In doughty also, students tend to think that it means obese. In redoubtable also, they somehow associate it with doubt. Okay, so they feel that this is the kind of person you would doubt. So a lot of students are disreputable, but no, none of them are correct. Okay. Now, formidable, somebody whom you find very intimidating, जो कि बहुत ही intimidating लगता है हमें, right? That person is called redoubtable. It is a slightly humorous word, right? So doing humorous words with you today, purloin, redoubtable. So in a very serious context, it's better to say intimidating. It's better to say formidable as compared to redoubtable, right? So I hope this is clear. Okay, through elimination, all right. Excellent. In case you arrived at A all by yourself. Good. That means your vocabulary is reaching formidable proportions, redoubtable proportions. No, I'm not being humorous, so formidable. Give me the, no, not the antonym. I'm sorry. This is a fill in the blank question, as we can see. Please fill in the blank here, right? And tell me which is the best word that fits. Yes, formidable, intimidating. These are people you are afraid of, right? All right. D, B. Okay, a lot of these I'm getting. What else? Ishank says C. Pranav says C. Okay. All right. Let's have a look. He criticizes opponent. So he's criticizing. See, the context matters. He criticizes opponents of making dash statements on important policy matters. So what they would of course be some let's say bad statements or negative statements. That's why they are attracting criticism. Inductive and deductive are two very legitimate methods of reasoning, right? So when you use inductive reasoning, you basically take some narrow premises and you arrive at a broad conclusion, right? That is inductive reasoning. For example, if I say that the flood situation in Delhi is bad right now, okay, and Delhi is the capital of India with such modern infrastructure. So if Delhi is facing such problems, I think that the entire North India must be much worse. So what did I do? From Delhi's example, I came to a conclusion about the entire North India. This is called inductive reasoning. From a narrow premise, I arrived at a broad conclusion. Now, this is not something to be criticized for. A lot of our arguments in our daily life tend to be inductive arguments, okay? Because we expand. So, for instance, when I'm conducting a research, it may not be possible for me to interview each and every person who is, let's say, um, a candidate who is an ideal candidate for my research. I may interview a few people and then I may generalize the conclusions, something called sampling and generalization. So, inductive reasoning is a very legitimate method of reasoning. Deductive, it means that from from broad premises, you arrive at narrow conclusions. And therefore, the effect is that here you are very certain about your conclusions. Whereas here your conclusions are only of a probable nature. ये वाले probable होते हैं और यहाँ पे हम sure होते हैं. For example, if I say that all of North India is currently, so assume this to be true. We have to assume these statements to be true. All of North India is currently reeling from devastating floods. Therefore, Delhi, which is in North India, must also be facing floods. So, this is now a narrow conclusion and this is called deductive reasoning. तो अब इसके लिए कोई क्रिटिसाइज नहीं करेगा अपने ओपोनेंट को, ठीक है? नाउ टू ऑप्शंस आर लेफ्ट. Conducive is a positive word. What kind of atmosphere is a conducive atmosphere? Yes, when we say that, he is studying in a school that provides a conducive atmosphere for a child's growth. That means it provides a favorable atmosphere for a child's growth. So conducive statements के लिए करेगा कोई किसी को criticize then? Tell me, will someone criticize another person? In fact, can we say that statements are conducive? The statements can be conducive towards a certain result. Okay, that's how I can write the sentence. So, when we talk about favorable, that does not fit here. C is the answer. Reductive statements. Oversimplified. When you oversimplify something, when you oversimplify, when you present something in a simplistic manner, when you oversimplify, no, we say that this is a very simplistic argument. You've oversimplified things. So that is what the opponent criticized his opponent. That is what a person criticized his or her opponent for. That you are making very oversimplified statements on important policy matters. Hence, reductive is our answer here. You are reducing it to a very simple matter. That's the idea. Any query? Please ask. Okay. So inductive, deductive were fine. Conducive is not correct here. Reductive is the answer. Okay, then let's have a look at a match the following question. Tell me what the answer should be here. Match the following. Also, did you notice that in the previous question, all of them shared a root? Inductive, deductive, reductive, conducive. We'll discuss the root also. Yes. First attempt this question, then we'll discuss the root also. Arman says 3. Okay. All right. Ishank also says 3. Vinayak says 1. I want a very good response on this question. Okay, it's a match the following question. And here you need not know the meaning of each and every word. You just have to find combinations. And see, easy question also because we know that 3 is D. Okay. Gratuity is this. Okay. What else? More responses. Come on, quickly. I'll answer this when I get 11 responses at least in the chat box. I've got 7, 8. 3 more responses I need. 3. So gratuity is something that you must have heard of in a corporate context. Okay, salaried employees, they get gratuity. So once you complete 5 years in an organization, you become eligible for this payment called gratuity. Now, why is this paid to an employee? It's a symbol of the organization's gratitude for the long-term services of the employee, right? And usually they would pay to you, I mean, either at the end of the retirement, either at the end of the employment or on your retirement, whichever is earlier, or on your retirement from the organization, whichever is earlier. That's the rule, right? So after 5 years. So these are just the technicalities of a gratuity. You just need to remember that it's money compensation that is given by an organization once when their long-term employees leave the organization as a symbol of the gratitude for their long-term services to the organization. Okay. Now, ingratiate versus ingrate. Ingrate. So, these two could confuse you, and I'm happy that they didn't. So, when somebody is ingratiating himself or herself with someone, they are trying to flatter this person because they want to gain some favor from this person. You remember yesterday we did words that were associated with a sycophant, synonyms of sycophant. So we did a word that was fawner, if you remember fawner. So a fawner is again a sycophant. This person fawns over another person. This person tries to ingratiate himself or herself with another person because this someone can grant them some favors. Right. So one is A, and the moment you realize this, you've solved this question. It was that easy. Right. An ingrate is a noun, okay? An ingrate. It means an ungrateful person. So if I say she's such an ingrate, that means she's such an ungrateful person. Okay. Gratuitous. So, gratuitous, I understand that some of you must be thinking that when we are gratuitous towards someone, we are grateful to them. That is definitely one meaning of the word, to be grateful to someone, right? However, another meaning, which is a negative meaning, is something that is unnecessary or unjustified, unwarranted, right? So, because see, the root gratis here, which is at the root of all these words, gratis, it means something that is free or something done out of grace. So, when I say, this movie has gratuitous violence, that means बहुत ही extra liberal amounts में violence करी हुई है, which was not even required. Okay, so unjustified violence, right? So I hope this is clear to you why third is the answer. Gratuitous violence, unjustified violence. So you can associate it with violence. That's what I have done. Okay. Ingrate and ungrateful person. Okay. That's good, Arman. Philanthropy is similar to gratuity. And yes, no, they are not similar. So philanthropy is when you are charitable. So usually wealthy people, when they donate some amounts of their wealth, okay, when they are generally charitable, they are called philanthropists, and this act of charity is called philanthropy. Gratuity is a different concept. It's for employees, okay. It's rewarding them for their loyalty. Now the previous one, the root here is ducer. I forgot to discuss the root here. The root is ducer, which means to lead to. So in inductive, we are leading to an expanded conclusion in a way, right? A broader conclusion. In deductive, D means taking away, right? So in deductive, we are reaching a narrow. So it is leading to a narrow conclusion. Reductive, it is actually leading to a very smaller version or very simplified version of the original argument, of the original matter, right? Conducive, when you lead to an atmosphere, when you lead to an environment that is favorable, that is likely to increase the possibility of an outcome, right? That is conducive. So that's how they are all related to this root ducer, which means to lead to. Okay, all right. Yes, Warren Buffett is a philanthropist. Recently, Nitin Kamath, the founder of Zerodha, one of the founders of Zerodha, he also, pledged a lot of his wealth to charity. So he also joined this list, and he became one of the youngest to join this list, right? So, fortuitous and gratuitous, anything related with, there must be actually. So this is a way of turning them into adjectives. See, fortitude and gratitude. So it's probably a way to turn them into adjectives. I'll find out about this. Okay, I'll go to Etim online and break these words to their very core roots, and then probably I'll find out. Okay, you can also do the same. And this is it from my side for today. Analogy, fill in the blanks, word meaning, synonym, antonym. I hope you'll remember these, revise these words over the weekend. Okay. And in case you want to know more about our pedagogy, our materials, then you know what to do now. You can unlock your free trial. Okay. The link is in the description box. Also, we have our test series out, and it has a lot of mocks for CAT as well as non-CAT mocks. I think non-CAT mocks are going to play a very important role for you, right? Because not a lot of study material for them is available outside. And you have 10,000 practice questions, so practice outside the mocks is also available, right? Moreover, we painstakingly, record video solutions for all our CAT mocks. So there will be no room for a doubt left as to why one answer is the correct answer and the other three options are incorrect, right? Also, you compete with various students across India through these three all India open mocks, where even the students who are not enrolled with us are welcome to join, right? So it's a much bigger pool of students who take these tests, right? So you can consider this mock series. These are our CAT 22 toppers. You can also be one of them by joining our batch. So this is our program. These are the highlights. The link is in the description box again, right? Welcome, guys. Welcome. In which playlist? There must be a 500 or 50 must know vocabulary words playlist for these. Okay, you can watch them there. Anshul. Okay. So I think Ritik answered it already. All right. Uh, and to make these courses accessible, we have a scholarship test also for you on the 23rd at 11 a.m. So do take this test if you wish to join our program. Plus, in case you want to know why you should go for an MBA, how you can go about it, what is the right time, a lot of students are on the fence because they feel whether it's the right time or not. So you can attend this workshop on the 16th at 11 a.m. And yes, we are everywhere on social media. You know this by now. Follow us everywhere, right? We share some good information pieces, we share good memes, right? And you can download our app also. We conduct sessions there regularly. All right. Welcome, guys. Welcome. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.